Well, hello you gorgeous mother truckers you, and welcome to a rather sunny if chilly UK. So, this government just keeps getting better and better and better. I'm sure you can feel the sheer sarcasm oozing out of my pores on that one. It's just every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, this government comes out and says and does something stupid, insane, or in this case, more worrying. Now, obviously, they've been doing an investigation into what caused Southport, because that's important. I mean, admittedly, we've already worked out it was social media and Amazon's fault, because that's just obvious from the get-go. I mean, anyone else comes up with such a stupid idea as that, well, it just needs their head looking into. But obviously they're going to have a look and see if they can see what the problem is, and so we can nip it in the bud so there can't be another one, which is a mistake in the first place, because there will be another one. There's always going to be other attacks, because the problem is they actually flatly refuse to actually address the issues and address the problems. What they'll do is they'll blame everybody else for it and deflect, because that's the way it has to be done. So, a leaked report. Now, it was a leaked report because whenever we get things that are leaked, it's usually because it's super bad, and somebody somewhere working in whatever office it is, whether it's in the Home Office or whatever, has a conscience and decides, take your time mate, and decides that this isn't right and the public need to know. So somebody leaks it. Remember, very much akin to the Manchester Airport CCTV, where if it hadn't been leaked, no one would have known, because somebody somewhere has got a conscience, which in reality fills me with some hope that we will all get out of this mess, purely because there are still many good people in the world who are not going to allow the stupidity to occur. So any case, so prevent, which is, it's got to be surely referred to the trading standards people, because it's clearly a misleading title, because they don't prevent anything at all. And even when they're given multiple opportunities, Southport Demon, to do something, they just don't, because really prevent only has one agenda, and that is to look at far right extremism, the mythical stuff that doesn't seem to exist. Well, I won't say it doesn't exist, but if it does, you don't hear much of it. So they've done a report and recommended some stuff to the government. Now, needless to say, now this report has been leaked, government's kind of backpedaling on it and saying, very much like, you remember I did a video about the Welsh government looking at banning dogs in certain spaces as not to offend, and then all of a sudden that report was immediately dismissed once everybody got it out. You see, because this is part of what I'm about to talk about, but what they want to do and what they don't like is the fact that social media, X, YouTube, etc., have become the new media. No one believes mainstream media, and mainly because mainstream media will only report what it wants to report, or what it's paid to report. So once the Welsh government realised everybody had seen this message, this suggestion of a report, and that it was, let's be brutally honest, stupid and insane, they immediately backpedaled on it. No, it was just a report, it was nothing, because they got caught out. And I had some people on there commenting saying, you're lying. Well, I wasn't lying, because the report was there, and the report wasn't reported by anyone in the mainstream media. It was only because it got released by people like me that they realised they weren't going to get away with it, so they backpedaled and said, oh, well, it was just a recommendation report. And we weren't ever, no, I promise you, we were never going to take that on. You would have if we hadn't have found out about it. And it's the same about this, where, look, sometimes I keep saying this. 10 years ago, if you told me I was going to be reporting on this and saying things like this about my own country, a country that I proudly defended and fought for, I wouldn't believe you. But here we go. The biggest threat to the national security of this country is far right. In fact, far right extremism is the biggest threat to this country. And Keir Starmer, why do I keep calling him Starmer? I mean, the thing is, he's got multiple names, but he's just Herr Dictator, the evil one. In fact, from now on, it's going to be Keir Evil One, the evil one, because he's the devil's advocate. He's just evil. Said that it was the biggest threat to society, to security, was the loner in his bedroom, which is just utter shite. But yeah, it's us pushing far-right extremist views, like two-tier policing. By talking about two-tier policing, you are now a far-right extremist. There's no such thing as two-tier policing or justice, even though you can see every day. I mean, you could just draw your attention just quickly to two-tier justice, where rightfully a gang of white paedophiles in Glasgow got jailed for a sum total or something of 90 years. And everybody goes, oh, well, you see, well, we reported it. Yet, for the same offence, Asian grooming gangs, nowhere near that. But there's no such thing as two-tier justice, is there? Any case, so talking about two-tier justice, like I've just done, which has now made me a far-right extremist and a threat to national security, do you see how stupid it is, but how worrying it is? This is the problem. And what they're doing is what they do very, very good now. And if you may have noticed that this is the new trend, which is to blame anybody and anything else other than the actual problem. So Prevent, which is the point of Prevent was infiltrated by members of the Islamic faith, and since then Prevent's sole purpose is to find anything far right they can, and that's the problem. Just all the time. There are talk, I mean, there is talk, and the problem is people will exaggerate this, but then again, you can exaggerate, but you can also look at it and think, well, actually, maybe, where they're saying that, you could get done for watching what they deem as far-right YouTube videos, like mine, because I'm obviously a far-right extremist. I'm a loner in my bedroom. I mean, the fact I own a house and it's from my own car in my own house, and I'm married and got children, and I'm definitely not a loner, it's beside the point. But they're branding anyone and everyone as far right as an excuse, because it then means that they haven't got to deal with the issues at hand. They haven't got to deal with the problem. So, by calling everybody far right, by concentrating on the far right, what they want to do is they want to shut down any opposition vocally and audio-visually. There is talk, which has been, I've picked up late last night, where they want to use another policing bill to allow the police and government to restrict access of the British public to social media sites during major news events. So they want to stop you using social media sites because they go, well, it's spreading misinformation. Now, although during Southport there were sections of misinformation, an awful lot of it was the actual truth. I mean, people actually got put in prison for talking the truth. That's what they want to suppress. Like this report which they've gone back on, and oh no, it's just an idea, has only become that because of social media, because of people reporting it all over social media. It's now in everybody's eyes, well, most people's eyes and conscience, and you get people like myself talking about it. They want to suppress that. They don't want, if something like Southport happens again, they want to control the narrative. Because it's all about that. Now, no one ever thought that the book 1984 would actually become an operations manual for a government. But that's what's happening right now. So, people like me, I live in the UK, and if you're listening to this in America, share it all over, please. Get it out into the world that currently the way that the British government are working and the way they want to do things, ex-forces, am a extremist threat to my own country. And that's the most important thing that needs to sink in about this. Little old me, doing what I'm doing right now, under this new report and recommendations that they won't bring in but probably will, I am a threat to my country. And there's a very good chance that I could, get arrested, put in prison. They would make sure that I wouldn't be able to use internet to report things that are happening right now. If something happened right now under this new idea, they'd just turn X off, so we wouldn't be able to do it. So I've already asked Elon, when can we get the Starlink phones? Because then they won't be able to stop you. Because that's again the level of stupidity. They really genuinely think that they can stop us, because they just can't. We'll use Starlink. Because Starlink they can't control. You see, it boggles the mind that I've got to a situation where this is how I'm thinking. This is what I'm having to talk about and report about, is the fact that this country's freedoms are being massively eroded. That people like myself and all the other people, you know, the great YouTubers, you know, Andy, the Gabby Cabby, Paz, Clown World, YT, I just could list hundreds, that we're all now, under this new plan, would be deemed extremism. That we would be branded as such, branded as a threat to our own country, and then that would be used to put us in prison, to silence us up forever. I mean, as somebody quite rightly put in my comment section, just it's as bad as you can't imagine. And every day they come up with something new. Every day they look at suppressing us and shutting us up, shutting us down, stopping us from talking, stopping from asking the awkward questions. It's just mind-boggling that I have children and I have grandchildren, and unlike that that advert that really annoys me about parents against the environment, she goes, sorry, no, I'm sorry that I brought my kids into this world. Now, I did mention a couple of videos ago, if I had the opportunity, I'd leave this country. No. And I won't leave this country because this country needs people to stand up for it. With all the aggro, hassle, threats, potential threats by your own government to put you in prison for what you say, from the idiots in comment sections, from those who wish you to self-delete because you just won't shut up. You get to a point where it stops being about you and it stops being about your family and it becomes about country. And I've had Mrs. G and family members sort of say, oh, you got to stop because you get yourself into trouble. Or what will we do if you get put in prison? And that's a genuine fear and a genuine pressure. It really is. But my answer is, but at least I said something. At least I tried to do something. I mean, I know there's another march down in London on the 1st of February. I can't make it. And that's not just because, I'm scared. Because I'm not scared. But the problem is it's difficult for me to be able to get down to London. I've got other responsibilities. And that's why I think that those people who are organising those marches in London need to look at doing it so we've got them in every major city. But of course, for me in Birmingham, you just look at our demographic and it will make it harder. But this is probably one of the places where it needs to happen. It just does, with all the issues there. But instead of just having a big march in London, we should have a big march in London, Birmingham, Manchester, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Bristol, Norwich, everywhere. Every town centre, every major conurbation. We should have one at the same time in every single city. Every single city, every single town. Because it's quite obvious, even though they've gone, oh no, this is just a report. Well, that's because it got attention. The light has been shined upon it. They're coming for us. And they're going to get us any way they can. So why sit and be silent? We need people to step up to the plate to do what I'm doing. And the more there is, the better. But I think instead of, as I've just said, instead of it just being London, it should be everywhere. Because people, it's getting to a stage where they're going to make us poor. They're going to lock us up if we don't say as we're done. And if we don't do anything, as another little quick video that's up on the channel will show, it never starts with the gas chambers. Any case, 2 videos popping up on the screen. One will be the last one I uploaded. The other one will be the one that the gods of YouTube, using their mighty algorithm, have decided that you need to watch. If you're one of the many people who agree with me, who are watching these videos but aren't subscribed, just hit that subscribe button. The more subscribers I get, the bigger the channel gets. The bigger the channel gets, the more people get to listen to what I have to say. Remembering that every single one of these videos is my opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. Liking, sharing and using the awesome comment section down below, which is always a pleasure to read. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it can be a bit dark, but it's there for all of you to use. And all of this helps the algorithm, which helps push these videos out to more people. Because ultimately, it's all about pushing the message out. Any case, enough of that. I am done. So, until the next one.